Hi. Yeah, I am Chris Graft. You can't see me. I'm editor in chief of Gamasutra.com, and with me, there is certain.
Hi, my name is Alex Waro. I'm also an editor at Gamasutra.com, and today we're doing something a little more relaxed. We're going to play ourselves a hot new release. Chris, what do you got there?
Yeah, well, this is a game known as Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Hmm.
It just came out like last week. This week?
Yeah, Tuesday
What year is
here in
it?
the United States,
Yeah.
2017.
So I figured that we can kind of play through this. Alex hasn't seen any of it. I've played maybe like 3.5 hours of it. Alex doesn't like these kinds of games, I think.
I don't like to be scared, you guys. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't want to be. I don't. I'm
Okay.
already scared.
All right. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do normal
Okay.
because we're normal people.
Apparently, this game actually came out today, the 26th, in Japan, and in Japan, it is called Biohazard Resident Evil, which is great.
Yeah. That's what the original series is called in
Hey,
Japan.
baby. I
So
just
where do you
wanted to
fall? Is
send
is it
you a
like
quick
is it
hello
Roman
and
numeral
let you
seven
know.
or
Oh,
Arabic
good
numeral
news.
seven? Where do you
I'm
fall on the
heading
seven?
home soon.
Uh,
Yay!
the Arabic numeral,
I
not
cannot
Roman.
wait
Yeah,
to
I
be
feel the
done
same
with
way,
this
but our Twitch channel
babysitting
feels
job.
otherwise.
Yeah, I
Now home
know.
to my
We need to
lovely
sort that out, I
husband.
guess.
I miss you.
Okay, so I feel bad because we're talking over this. So you played for a little bit. What are
I
we
gotta
watching
get
right
back to
now?
work. I love you,
So,
Ethan. I miss you
this
so much. I'm
is
sending tons of
my
kisses.
wife
Bye, baby.
or girlfriend, and her name is Mia. And this is apparently some kind of like flashback-ish type thing. Um, Not flashback-ish, flash forward type thing.
Okay.
Ethan,
It's kind of just setting the scene, setting the
you
tone.
were right. I did lie to you. I shouldn't have.
Hmm.
All I can
So
say is that if
is
you
it
get
just?
this,
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So she won a few since we were
stay
talking. Oh wait,
away.
yeah,
This is already like a little upsetting. I don't. So I've never really played Resident Evil games. I played a little bit. I think of two or three, whichever one where the big monster is chasing you, and that's
yeah.
basically it.
Three
Uh,
is Nemesis.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and that
Hey,
one
it's
there's a lot of
it's
that
Ethan.
kind of influence where you have basically an unbeatable,
Yeah,
so it
yeah, no,
seems,
I'm good.
monster
I'm good.
coming
Hmm.
at
It's
you,
Mia.
just
She's not dead.
relentlessly.
She's alive.
And
She's back.
um, I don't know if we're going to get to that part
I
here
don't know.
today,
Look,
but there's
I don't know
definitely
how,
that Resident Evil
but
3
she's back. She's
Nemesis
back somehow.
influence here.
Maybe it's a
This is
prank.
nice. This is like some real
She'll be sure to
Central
come
Cal.
get
Oh,
her.
never mind.
No,
Don't
this is
don't
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yeah,
I know. I
this
know.
is real like
But if
Bayou
it is real,
country.
This
So
you
do you
have
know
to
when it
find out
takes
what happened.
place?
um
Do they ever
it,
give you any hint? Like, are there cell phones? There's clearly a
yeah, I mean,
laptop.
the thing is, some of the technology that they use, they kind of mix it up. Like there's a VHS, some VHS and landline phones, which between PT and this game, I'm completely horrified by landline phones now.
That's deeply upsetting. Yeah, so you have played PT and you've played Amnesia and you've played all the scary games that I'm too afraid to touch.
Yeah,
So, like, how does this compare?
it's really interesting. I don't think that this is a return to form per se. This is what, what my first impression of this is that Capcom and the people working on this game were really paying attention to what was happening in a really vibrant, interesting, independent horror game scene.
Mm.
So there's a lot of Outlast influence, I feel like, here.
Yeah.
Um, it's in first person. Um, there's the claustrophobicness of that you'll get from Layers of Fear or PT for that matter.
Mm.
And really, it's like it doesn't feel like Resident Evil here at the beginning. If you wouldn't have, it doesn't even say at the menu screen. It doesn't go, "Ding, Resident Evil." If you would have told me that, that like if it didn't have the Resident Evil branding here at the beginning, you just there's not much. What is this? Join us for our stream. Yeah, you wouldn't really know that this is a Resident Evil game.
I'm sort of sad. Like I had forgotten until you reminded me. There's always that there's that cha-chunk sound whenever you open up a Resident Evil game, and there's the big logo, and it's like Biohazard or Resident Evil. And I had forgotten all about that. But that's such a key part of that game's. I don't want to say appeal because I don't play them because I'm scared. But they have a certain style, and that is definitely a key part of it.
Hey, look at that guy.
He seems fine. You should go say hi.
I'll go get him.
So I think like what is more interesting to me about this game, other like beyond the fact whether or not it's scary or not, is its style. Like whether it is Resident Evil style, whether it's classic RE style, whether it's new RE style, whether it's indie game horror style. Like how its design lines up with what we perceive certain types of games to be. Because to me, it just looks like another fictional game.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It slowly starts to throw those elements of Resident Evil, like the keys and the little puzzles and things like that. Ridiculous puzzles that don't make sense, you know, in order to obtain a shotgun or to open a door. Yeah. So this is nice. This is a good normal arts and crafts project here.
Yeah, so what happens if you just turn around right now and go back in the car?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't try that. Yeah, but it's funny. It's funny that you say that because so much of this game is, you know, you're watching a horror movie and you're telling the people, "You idiot! Don't go into the shed. Don't go into the shed." But you're the idiot that's going into the shed. I mean, we just saw just a strange kind of looking guy out in the middle of the woods while you're trying to find your wife who's been missing for, or girlfriend, I can't remember the relationship, for 3 years. And then you're out here in like Deliverance country. You call the authorities or something.
Yeah.
It's but nope. Not here. I'm going to be the moron that like walks into the dark room. That's her purse. So.
Did you ever play Silent Hill 2?
You know, I didn't. I played the first one. I was always more of a Resident Evil person.
Okay, so I hate Silent Hill games too. I'm too scared. But I've heard Silent Hill 2 has a very similar story where you get a strange message from a woman you thought was gone forever, and you have to go to this creepy place out in the wilderness, like a town, and you have to find her. And it turns out you find her than you bargained for.
So the premise is interesting, though. Just really quick, and as a note, like when I first got to this part, and I'm just staring at this door. I actually went to my. I pressed the PS button, and I just kind of looked at my other games for like 30 seconds or a minute or something.
Yeah, why did you play something else? Why did you come back? What is it that draws you in about this experience?
I like being scared. That's what's cool about video games. You get that. That's okay.
This seems fine.
You can enjoy being scared and interacting with the horror in the safety of your room. And there's as disgusting and gory as this game gets, there's a certain joy there. I mean, look how joyful this game is.
Why would you push a door open? I feel like you.
Yeah. So look at this. As far as I know, okay. So first of all, if you play Resident Evil, the first one, you know that the loading screen was disguised as the door opening.
Door animation, yeah.
And this right here, it's like you push it a little bit. This is right out of Outlast. The way that you open the door, you open it a crack, and then you push. And you push your way through, which is an interesting mechanic, and I mean, it just adds.
Not okay with this.
Yeah, it just adds to the intensity of it all. So here we go. We'll just see. Yeah. So
Why
kind
doesn't
of
your-
here.
Why isn't there a button to shout like hello? Anybody here?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, that would be nice, I guess. So it's kind of funny, like. All right, so this is like, this is interesting also because the premise when you're talking about Silent Hill, you know, this is the first Resident Evil that I play. I've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I finished those, and Revelations. I didn't finish Revelations, but anyway, this is the first one that I've played that it doesn't have the whole like militaristic thing to it, where you're kind of like this survivalist, this specialist, good with guns.
It's super strange to watch you play this because it feels like a horror game, but you have to remember that's not really what Resident Evil has been for ages.
Yeah.
And it's so strange to me because, like, you know, we were talking earlier, and you mentioned that it was very much in the vein of things that come out of fictional games, you know, like games like Amnesia and games like Soma and stuff. And I sort of like wasn't sure about that because, one, I'm too scared to play it, and I'm too scared to really even watch you play it. I'm a little nervous. So I went to go look at this interview that GameSpot put up with some of the development team, and they asked him, like, you know, did it give you confidence to see indie horror games being very similar and, you know, seeing success? And they're like, well, you know, it gave me some confidence, says one of the developers, Nakanishi-san, but we wanted to make sure we stay true to ourselves and making sure we give the core Resident Evil experience, which is not only offering a heightened level of fear, but also giving the player the opportunity to combat it and overcome it.
Yeah.
Which is like not at all what Soma is about, and it is very much what RE like 4, 5, and 6 were, where you're just like a super jacked, like strapped to the gills military man just blasting fools.
Yeah.
And that's not this at all.
No, it's not, and I'm saving these just in case I screw up and I don't have to go back. I think there are like little checkpoints, but
so
yeah, I mean this is nice. So I bet there's something nice in here.
Yeah, that seems fine. Derelict house footage.
Yeah. So,
Who would write that on a tape? Even if that's what it is. Like, why would you?
Yeah, just so you know that, you know, you're not, I don't know, taping over it. Tape RoboCop over the derelict.
So did you just say a minute ago? Like, is there an analog to the old typewriter ribbons?
Well, yeah, there's an cassette tape recorder this time around.
Sure.
We'll just look in here.
Oh, why? No, can't we go?
Yeah.
Did you have a phone?
There is a lot of. No, you don't. Look at that. There's a television set.
Some nice chairs. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, like the.
They're not all bad.
It's interesting because people, and myself included, really admire Resident Evil 4, or like really have fond memories of Resident Evil 4. I feel like Resident Evil 4, though, is basically that kind of spelled. Resident Evil 4 kind of spelled the end of Resident Evil, in my opinion, because from that point on, it just became more and more action focused, and you don't have this vulnerability. You don't have moments like as much where you're walking with no weapon in a dark room where you'll just allow your brain just to go crazy and do this mental modeling thing.
Chris, could you please turn some lights on or something? Like, this is really freaking me out in this room.
All right. Well, everyone can watch me do this. I'm gonna go ahead and put the derelict house footage in here and just see what happens. See.
Oh, okay. All right. You're right on though. Like, definitely, RE4 was like a super popular, but also significant shift for entry in the Resident Evil franchise.
Yeah.
Everything changed after that, and that's hello. Okay.
Find this guy? Give me a break, Pete. Hey.
I mentioned this to you earlier. I keep trying to play RE4. I didn't play at the time, so I go back to it like every Halloween, and I just can't get over the first like hour where you're in the woods and you're shooting all these zombies in this village, and I keep running out of ammo and I can never get them all, and I think I'm doing it wrong, but I have not
Yeah, you don't get a gun
Plan.
for a little bit.
We do a
Here
walkthrough
in
of the inside first,
RE7.
then we shoot the intro.
So basically,
we
these
always
two
do.
guys are
Just
like ghost
Try to say the
hunter
show's name this time, okay?
type people
problem.
who have like a
Tonight on Sewer
low
Gator.
budget TV
Another
show.
worthless
They're
fucking
scoping out
shit.
a new location.
Happy?
And
Static.
now like you as a player, you aren't Ethan, the main protagonist. You are the cameraman, the new cameraman for these guys.
Oh, so you're playing.
Yeah, I'm playing. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
we rolling?
it's a nice little thing.
let's
So
That's like a way better way of doing what they did. I think it was like in 6, and the other maybe 5 too. You could play different characters, and they would like all their storylines would intersect. So you would see different pieces of the whole story from each character's perspective.
yeah,
And I love to see that in game design. I don't think it was very popular in RE6, or at least it wasn't done as well as it could be. But this seems like a much cleaner way to do it, where you're still one character, but you're occasionally jumping out to play through other pieces of your story.
yeah. And
From
you
a
have
different perspective.
yeah, it's so much of it already is like
Story,
it's
Andre.
observational but interactive
Abandoned farmhouse,
also.
missing family,
Mm.
foul play suspected. The usual.
Just why?
How long did you say this place has been abandoned?
3 years.
Okay, all right, yeah, no, this is good.
So like this,
Clancy, get a shot of this. Let's make a great cutaway.
I mean, this
So,
is good. Like how much
Hillbilly Joe and his family go
downtime
missing.
Not
there is
hillbillies,
for
the
you
Bakers.
to
Jack and Marguerite
appreciate
Baker.
all this stuff. I didn't even
They were
lift this
quiet,
up
not
like
back.
last time.
Let's go for it. Come on.
Rumors about their son, Lucas.
Let's see it all. Let's see. Oh, okay, all right.
And
Put it back.
when you're when you're playing as Ethan, actually, the
shit.
cockroaches come out and crawl
Oh, I should have
around.
worn my good shoes.
Gross.
Oh, shit. Glad I had my shots.
Okay, all right. So,
This would make a great
why?
backdrop.
Can you just
Andre,
leave? I guess your camera guy probably can't leave. He's probably being paid to be here.
Andre?
Yeah, I'm on contract. Can't.
Sure.
Andre?
It's hard out there. I mean, you gotta.
Andre?
We seem to have lost Andre,
Clancy, you see where Andre went?
Who's Andre? The other guy?
the other guy.
Where'd he go? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Unfucking believable. This
Um,
is the last time I worked with that guy. I mean, producers.
Why-
let it go, but
so what do you get as a longtime aficionado of horror games? Like you say, you like being scared. Like why is this tension
Yeah.
good?
I mean, it's kind of like I enjoy the story part of it, the mystery part of it.
What the fuck was that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that?
I like
Yeah,
the ability, and like I said earlier, to
Andre?
get basically scared out of your
Where the fuck
wits.
is he?
But you know, in the safety of your own
Andre, where are you,
living
man?
room.
Shoot. Don't you have kids? Do you play this in front of your children?
No, I don't.
I just imagine this would be too
That
much.
wouldn't be great. So keep in mind, like you're as the protagonist, you're watching this on the video, in
Yeah.
this room.
What the hell?
And it's, I mean, I was about to sort of question, but it makes total sense because whatever horrible monstrosity is about to come out and just take these poor fools down would totally have kept the tape. Why not?
I mean, fuck this show.
This is a lovely family, by the way.
It's beautiful. Okay, all right, let's keep going.
See, like this is the feeling that you get when you're watching a horror movie where you're telling someone, "Don't go there, you idiot. Don't go in there.
Mm.
Don't go in there." But you go in there.
This guy has a really good jacket. That's a good texture on that jacket.
Yeah.
You first.
What?
Need a nice hero shot of me coming down the ladder.
Yeah.
So,
Have you tried this in VR at all? I forget. Because I know
my
you can do it
gosh,
against
no,
VR.
I like being scared, but that's like too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just having it in your face.
what do you see? What
This
is
guy has an amazing camera. I guess it's probably just like a head-mounted GoPro or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Oh. All right. All right.
So that's where, yeah. That's
I never even saw the Blair Witch Project, like that thing where the lady is standing against the wall. Like I have no.
What is it about that? Like somebody standing there against the wall or in a corner just facing.
It's the same thing that makes somebody who's slightly too tall or slightly too skinny or is walking in a weird way
But that's
really upsetting because people aren't supposed to do that.
Though. Slightly too tall.
Well, I am slightly unsettling. Yeah, like
slightly too skinny.
people walk how I walk, and they're like,
You are Slender Man.
It reminds me of there was that video going around I think late last year of an animator at Miyazaki's Studio Ghibli, I think. And they were showing off some new tech in 3D they were working on. I assume they were working for the studio. They were showing it off to Hayao Miyazaki, and one of them was like they had messed up. I'm sure you saw this. They had messed up the rig so that like these little 3D humans would like break their joints and crawl along the ground in weird ways because they didn't have realistic physics.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Look at this! It's a great way for horror games. It's really unsettling. People don't like it when things were that way." And then Miyazaki was like super not into it.
Yeah.
But that's because it's super unsettling. To see
It's unsettling, and also there is when you lose like all humanity in what you're making, because like it was upsetting to him too because he has a disabled friend who has like muscle and joint problems, and he struggles to move. And then when these young people coming up are creating these physics and AI driven, things that are all twisted up. He found it really offensive. I think he said something like that it's offensive to humanity itself or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I can see his point.
I mean, fair point. Yeah. So
Okay,
why would you?
So we were chatting while this is going on. But this is like a pretty brilliant way to tell the story, I think. So you watch the video, but you play the video that the protagonist is watching. So then you saw where the hidden switch was in the fireplace. You pull the flue down, and then it opens up the door. So you're informed by something that you watched as your character, but actually you played it as a player, so you knew where to go. And this is where the dude was. This is where Andre was standing. Rest in peace. But that was a good way to explain to someone how to get through level and stick with the narrative, like you're still telling the story here.
Yeah, it is. It's like very deftly done, and it's hard to remember that this is not directly of the same lineage as the horror games we've been playing for years. Games like Outlast, games like Soma, and stuff like. This is RE, and they haven't done anything like this. So it really is remarkable to see this kind of I don't want to say like subtle design, but like wise design. Like it works very well, and it seems to take a lot of lessons from what has succeeded in the last couple of years. It's definitely nothing at all like RE5, which I remember just being like a man just shooting dudes in the Sahara. Or wherever it was. Oh, okay, all right.
Andre.
Okay.
Excuse me. This water's got to be putrid.
Yeah. What? You know what you need is to play it in VR with that smell enhancer device. Fake smells. You can really
see now stuff like this.
Why? Why would you?
All right.
Okay. All right.
I got your flashlight on. So this morning, this is actually the third time I've played the beginning here, but I did play it for a second time this morning to kind of run through it a little bit, and it was still scaring the bejesus out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, like 7:30 in the morning. I think it's too early for this game. I haven't even had my coffee yet.
That's weird. I think I would have thought it would be easier in the clear light of day to handle this.
Well, I have a room where I can just turn all the lights out.
Okay.
And see, now here we go. Environmental storytelling. Ben dead. Harold turned. Arthur turned.
Okay.
These hillbillies are up to something. All right.
Okay, so I have to admit, I hate horror movies and horror games, but like I find the stories really interesting. Like I don't want to be scared, and I don't want to be jump scared, and I don't want anything grabbing me in the dark. But the whole idea of like weird, creepy experiments gone wrong is cool. So I wish I could just read this. Could I just read the Wikipedia entry while we're doing this instead of watching you?
No, you have to watch me for a little bit longer. So you might have seen that there is. Well, first of all, you might see that there's a person laying there. But I guess one of the things that does harken back to Resident Evil is the inventory system where you have limited numbers of slots in each of them. That might be about it so far.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Okay. Is that your lady?
God, I found you. It's me. It's Ethan.
Ethan?
Are you all right?
She gonna leave? You guys gonna go now? You should just
What do you
go.
mean? You contacted
Yeah,
me.
we
No,
probably
no,
should.
I wouldn't.
You should just get at it.
Did I?
What is she?
Did
Did I miss something? What is she even doing in this creepy house to begin with?
Dude, what's going on?
Daddy's coming. We need to go.
I don't know, but Daddy's
We
coming.
need to go now.
The reason she had left initially was to babysit for some family, but I don't think it was this family. Maybe it was. I don't know.
Where are you taking me?
Someplace safe.
You gonna tell me what's going on?
Someplace safe.
Okay.
Baby, you've been gone 3 years.
3 years? Has it really been 3 years?
As a dad yourself, how do you feel about the vilification of
I'm okay with it.
daddy culture in general?
I'm okay with the vilification of Dad. Daddies.
Okay.
So,
All right.
There is one thing also like you can't really appreciate unless you're playing it on
What
the
is this
sound
place?
system is the
What'd they
audio
do to you?
is
Not now.
it just messes
We
you
need
up.
to get
I
out of
mean,
here first.
there's like just random
I think it's this
clanging
way.
and just the things that go bump in the night type stuff.
Okay.
That just really mess with you. And sometimes it is something that's coming, and sometimes it's not.
So, as an avid RE player, do you like this a lot more than the more recent REs, or do you miss just being able to come in and clean house with some kind of
We have to talk.
arsenal?
That message you sent.
Oh,
Not me.
Anti-zombie
That
weapons?
wasn't me.
But you did.
I like this.
I didn't.
Okay, fine.
I like this better. I
Just tell me
mean,
what's going on.
Resident Evil 1
I'm
was the
telling
first
you
PlayStation 1
everything
game
that
that I
I know.
bought, and
We have
know,
to
it
go
was
this
like-
way.
16 or something. Just playing that in my basement. And back then, you had guns and stuff, but it wasn't
Are
so
you sure you know where
like
you're going?
Family used to
action
bring me food
oriented.
through
It was
here.
pretty. It was
I
pretty like
remember.
a plodding like pace. Whereas it just kind of got more and more action oriented, and then it kind of didn't. The franchise, I feel like, didn't really know what it was. At one point, it's not Gears of War, and it's not a slower paced psychological thriller thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's defined a genre in the West,
It's
right?
there.
Of survival horror.
Yeah,
Like, that was the first. That was the first big survival
This is
horror
it.
game.
yeah.
This doesn't. It. I don't want to get into like genre
I remember this
distinctions,
room.
but also I'm scared and don't want to like
There's
really
another
focus
door.
on something coming out of you. So
I'm
like,
sure of it.
in the line between an action game and a horror game, like I would say like Soma is a pure philosophical horror game, and Amnesia is a pure
We're
horror
gonna be
game. There's
okay.
no like I mean, you're surviving insofar as you're a player, but you can never like, there's no guns.
There's another door here, I'm sure.
Where does this fall? Like I feel like survival horror is somewhere between like action and horror. So like, do you feel like
We gotta get out of here.
have you gotten far enough to get any weapons at all, or is it all just like this for the foreseeable chunk?
I've gotten far enough to get a couple weapons, but we've been playing it for about half an hour right now, and you're still weaponless. So
So do you ever feel confident or safe when you start to get that kind of equipment, or is it always very
no, not really.
ammo very scarce? Yeah.
And we might get to them, but it's.
Is that a doll, your girlfriend on the floor?
I kind of jumped there.
Mm.
Let's see.
Mm.
I don't know. Is that her? Kind of looks like her, doesn't it?
Mm.
Well, who's that then? Yeah, as far as like Soma, I consider like existential horror. I mean, like that game, like it also had a really interesting concept that made you just think about what it even means to exist. And you know, there were monsters and stuff in it, and it was you know, tense and scary. But yeah,
It's very much like a psychological horror game.
yeah, it was very much so.
Whoever lives in this house is a terrible photographer. Like, they just need to fucking turn the flash on and like take a 101 class.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically I described it on Twitter as Outlast plus Deliverance plus plus a season of A&E's Hoarders. So
Yeah, a little bit of True Detective mixed in there too. Everything's kind of whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Who's on the phone? Okay.
But yeah, this type of horror game is one that, I mean, Resident Evil Revelations isn't like really. It doesn't let your brain just like go crazy, and wonder and fear what's around the corner.
Didn't you have a lady with you? Didn't you have a woman you were walking with?
Yeah, you might not have noticed, but she was taken away screaming. Also, like the bathrooms in horror games, pretty nasty. Pretty nasty.
Yeah, can you imagine someone probably spent hours of their life painstakingly
Well, you know what
like
we're gonna do? We're going to sit here and appreciate their work.
definitely.
Yeah, that is beautifully rendered. Porcelain throne.
I always wonder what it must be like to look up, you know, reference images and reference video for modeling stuff like that and creating just the most disgusting and disturbing things.
Yeah, I think the reference for that toilet is just like a normal everyday toilet.
Yeah,
A dirty
is
one.
that
Yeah.
okay?
I don't know if you can hear the audio that's happening. But,
No.
well, it's a whole bunch of just like knocking and pounding and.
Can you just act it out for me? Can you just
Yeah, let's go see what's down here real quick.
like that guy from Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, let's go down again. Okay, all right. No.
Back.
Okay.
There's something different. There's something different about you.
Yeah, I don't think.
I can't put my
Did you
finger
say
on it.
something? Did you say something to turn her off? Like, what's? Doesn't seem to be. No. Okay. All right.
Strong. Resist.
Doesn't
So
seem.
This is where it gets pretty like button mashy on these things, but
Okay. All right. So this is just the end of the game, right? Like your girlfriend's a zombie, now you are too. That's it.
This is it.
And then you're a third person. You're watching. It turns out you're watching this on another video the whole time. And the camera cuts back again, and you realize you're playing a video game about this experience. And there's a zombie
I
behind
can
you.
feel
Oh,
her clawing her way back inside of me. Yet,
well, she's fine.
no! Leave me alone! I've been bad.
What
I
is?
deserve this.
Okay.
it's a little disturbing.
Yeah. So, am I lucky that I'm not getting any game audio?
What do you think, Alex? Are you gonna pick this up at your local GameStop?
Yeah. No. I'm gonna stay as far away from this experience as possible. I'm just gonna read the wiki and then go, huh?
I think there's a lot to be learned in like horror type games that can be applied to non horror games. Like, you know, a lot of it is just like the way that it's telling the story.
Mhm.
And I think you asked a pretty good question yesterday when we were talking to Laura E. Hall, who actually made a escape room based on Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But you were asking about, you know, will like can you make an experience that a deep immersive experience that doesn't just like rely on trying to exploit like your base fears.
Hmm. Yeah, it bums me out that I don't like these games at all because I think that like you can learn a lot about game design by watching how good horror games, well, okay, all right, structure themselves, pacing and environment design and environmental storytelling like this, but because their subject matter is so can be so off-putting, I feel like a lot of people miss out on it. Which is, I mean, fine. I mean, part of the horror games exist for a very good reason, and it's great that they can inspire these kind of feelings.
Yeah.
But I wish there was like a really soothing, like someone with a really soothing voice on YouTube, like an ASMR aficionado, like just talking about the great design, of horror games, and sort of walking you through without having to go
By the
through
way,
all the jump scares.
don't feel too bad about anyone who appears dead in this game.
Oh, okay. Sounds.
There's the phone. So there's the landline.
It's gonna be weird because I think you and I are like among the last generation that's gonna remember dialing phones like this.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they'll still exist for ages, but they're not going to be like I can still remember as a kid, like just barely remember when these kind of phones were all over, and like pretty soon.
Now you get a mysterious phone call.
In the future, kids will be like, "Yeah, I saw these old phones. You used them to save your game." That's what they did in the 70s.
See, she's fine, Alex.
Okay. All right. Well, I take back everything I said about you as being a murderer and a creep.
Helps me sleep at night, knowing that she's out there, okay, somewhere.
So, like,
read
I don't. I know anyone watching this might have a real interest in playing through this at some point. So I don't want you to feel like you have to tell me everything you know about the RE multiverse. But like, does this seem to tie at all into the other games that came before it, or is it like a totally new? Like, does it have any like viruses with letters in front of them, or is it just something totally different with no T viruses?
Like I said, I'm only like 3 hours in or something. There's very little so far that is like Umbrella Corporation stuff.
Mm.
So there's not. I mean, it is such a at least this beginning is a huge departure, and in a way it really is influenced by the really cool things that have been happening in like the indie game horror scene, or like the smaller independent games that have come out.
Yeah.
And I like it. I hope that it does. I mean, it has to eventually.
Okay.
You know, I hope that it does eventually, because I mean, Umbrella. I don't know. Maybe there's like 30 basements to this place, and then you end up in like the Umbrella Lab.
Just keeps going, deeper and deeper.
But I'm not quite there yet.
Actually, it can't do that, right? Because it's set somewhere in Louisiana or something, so there's just water beneath you. Like, maybe it's an undersea lab.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got get some sealant. Plenty of sealant. Okay, so that right there was a little Resident Evil type thing.
Puzzle?
You know? Yeah, not really a puzzle. It's just a fuse that you put somewhere.
Have you seen any crests yet? Any weird keys? Oh, keydoke.
Okay, that scared me.
I know you.
What is up with her neck? What?
I've been a bad boyfriend.
It's fucking hard.
This is very upsetting.
I totally
You guys should
jumped.
talk this out.
This is the third time. I'm gonna try to get this out of here.
I don't think your hand would work after this. Like, I feel like you would have to go talk to a medical professional. Get some antiseptic.
I want to hear what you say.
Oh, that's okay. All right.
New
Did you
for
just?
Resident Evil.
Must contain outbreak.
What else?
Yeah, like I don't think. I think you should go. I think you can both agree that you should go.
Hold on. I need to get my hand.
Come back for your things later. Oh.
Hold on. I gotta get that. That in the old inventory.
Oh my god. All right.
I kind of like how goofy that is.
Can you imagine? Like, and Alyssa is in
I'm
chat.
gonna put some medicine on it.
Alyssa's way ahead of me, pointing out that like, how could you ever play this in VR? Like, just
Yeah,
like having to hold the move controller up to like.
I'm not gonna do that.
Mm.
I'm not going to. So yeah, I put the fuse in, and the attic stairs work.
This really took a turn. I did not. This is not what I thought I was signing on. I thought I was signing on for you would get in here with your gun, and you would be scared, and then you would shoot some zombies in the head, and then they might crawl on the ceiling or something. You know, like at the top of the tongue.
Yeah.
There'd be a blonde man with glasses, and he would laugh at you. But that's not. This is about it all.
Yeah, it gets really gory. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in it where you, like I was saying before, like it's slow enough, and you hear all these sounds. So you finally get a handgun here about 40 minutes in or so.
Okay.
Yo, what about your stump?
You know
Who's
what?
holding that?
Yeah, it's okay. I have to say that I'm in shock right now.
Okay.
Mannequins, staple of creepy environments. Yeah, I mean, even though there's a lot of downtime and they give you a lot of opportunity to wonder what's in the next room, it does get really graphic.
Yeah.
I mean, let's do this. And you know, when she jumped out, that was the third time that I've seen that. I even saw that this morning, and I just kind of forgot that she did that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just jumped here, sitting in this
Okay.
bright office right now.
Okay. Mannequins are like never good. Name the last time you saw a mannequin that was a good thing.
Oh, I see Alyssa's in there in chat. Yeah. Alyssa, do not play this in VR now.
I mean, I've also never seen Deliverance, and I kind of don't want to watch that movie now either.
You don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's really persistent.
That was your girlfriend? With a chainsaw? That is. Oh.
Get my gun. That was a bad shot.
Like, I don't think it works that way.
It does.
I mean, I only ever got a first aid merit badge, but like, I'm pretty sure that's not how we learn to use okay.
Merit badge?
Yeah, I
yeah.
was a Boy Scout.
Scouts.
Yeah. The camps. Okay.
See, now you do get weapons, but
It's up.
Yeah, they're not very effective. Okay.
part of it is like okay, what you got here?
I thought the rule was if you shoot him in the head, you win. That's like the one rule.
Maybe she won't know.
So in fact, the one reason I played RE3 is
Oh my
because
gosh.
my friend showed me there was a Magnum, and you could get an automatic headshot by pressing up when you were near a zombie and then
Right,
shoot.
right. You can do
And it was
that.
super easy, and I wasn't scared, so that's why I played it. Oh, okay. But then I ran out of Magnum ammo, and I stopped playing. This is very upsetting. What? Oh.
I need to put a lot of
Okay.
medicine on that.
Yeah, you should maybe just dump the whole bottle in you.
You're gonna put medicine on me.
Oh, okay. So you were not meant to come back from that.
No,
That
no. That is unhealable.
Okay.
Gosh. All right.
Girlfriend's name is Mia.
Mia is dangerous when she goes berserk. Thank you, tips. Thank you, menu tips. Yeah, that's the thing too. I mean, like also, I was doing a very bad job at aiming there.
Okay.
Um,
Fine.
but also the enemies move in such a way that it's a little bit harder to get headshots. There are some enemies that show up later on, and their heads so like it's kind of like wobbly and a little bit more unpredictable.
That's not
So
okay.
even though so watch out for the wobbly-headed enemies. So
It's something we
it's
didn't.
kind of like you are empowered by the guns, but you're not. I don't feel yet 3 hours in overpowered. You know.
Yeah, something we didn't really talk about at all that I just realized is really upsetting is that it's in first person, and which is very much in like a Soma or an Amnesia, but nothing like an RE. Like all the other Resident Evil games that I've ever played or seen, they're less scary because you're floating in space. You know, you're like this disembodied presence, and nothing really affects you, and it's
Yeah.
not a big deal. And the idea of like coming face to face with something in this game where the head's kind of wobbly is upsetting. It's like deeply. I don't. Let's not go. Let's not.
Yeah,
Go
that's like what I mentioned earlier. I mean, like when you're in third person, you're displaced from the action a bit, so like you feel a little safe. Okay, I'm gonna do better now.
Okay.
Yeah. Hit. Don't want to waste all my medicine.
You should shoot her. Oh, well, that's fine. You just stay on your side and just Okay.
Be mad.
Let's just open the door. That seems like all right.
What did I do to her?
There you go. There you go. There you go. Sorry.
Please.
Sorry.
Sorry not to.
Okay. That is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
That was like a
no.
No. Okay.
Some medicine. Oh, no, that's dead.
They're relying on me. Relying on
No.
Yeah. Please. Come on.
I wonder if this is like the direction of Resident Evil going forward. It seems like it's That's just upset. Nobody won
We did it,
there. That's
everybody.
just upsetting. No.
No, we all did it.
Mm,
I won, Alex.
you should take the chainsaw so she doesn't
Yeah.
be tempted.
Okay.
Alrighty, we got 10 minutes left. Can you get out of the house in 10 minutes? Can we? So because like clearly there's no reason for you to be here anymore. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, this was like a bad call. I mean,
You're not gonna like
So-
the next person.
where's the yellow stripes? That's not yellow vertical stripes. That's not flattering at all.
It really does. It really is getting like starting about here is where it gets leaves a bit less to the imagination.
So it shows rather than telling.
Come on.
Yeah.
Don't die on us now. You have work to do.
It's all right, Alex. Stick with me. 9 more minutes.
Alright.
Hey, look at that.
Oh, wait, you have a hand again. What happened?
It's back.
See that? Like, this is a fun story. I would
Don't you
read
appreciate
this
that,
story
right? Yeah.
if I didn't have something jumping out at me every 30 minutes, 30 seconds.
I like the goofiness of that. I think that, you know, it's kind of I don't know. My hand's back. It got sawed off. And here we are.
Where am I?
Okay.
What the hell?
Rise and shine, sleepy.
This seems fine.
It's time
Yeah.
for supper.
Is that A1? Oh, that's
Where
a
are
beer.
you people? Where's Mia?
It's just chugging it straight from the. It's actually Worcestershire sauce.
Eat it.
Just
It's good.
down it straight.
Very sriracha.
Yeah.
His uncle was British actually. So they're really, the other one likes bro. Okay. All right. Well, now this is just kind of silly. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
If everyone's just
Now it's-
popping off limbs and replacing them,
Yeah.
chewing on some. Alrighty.
Oh.
Shit, he's not eating it, Jack! He's not eating it!
This is like, I mean, this is pretty close to like my friend Dennis.
This is what it would be like if there was an actual Wolverine. You know, like if human beings could actually like regrow and like heal from anything, this is how it would end. It wouldn't end in beauty. It would just be this weird, creepy. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they just did to
It's a
you.
little, it's a little less subtle now. Oh.
Okay.
I wouldn't like that part in VR.
No. Yeah. No.
You'd be able to see the intestines really close.
I think the most upsetting about VR
Grandma?
and the prospect of playing a horror game in it is that you can't look away.
Yeah, you're just like in it. You know, that's why you see people just ripping off of their headsets when they're trying their friend's new VR game, horror game. Okay,
You
Gotta
should
get out of
go.
this.
I'm gonna try the. Okay, rock chair.
Okay. All right.
So, right about now is where it gets a little more Resident Evil 3 Nemesis as far as enemies go.
Oh, you mean like Prince of Persia, where there's a giant monster chasing you the whole time?
This is basically Prince of Persia.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what it reminds me of. Oh, okay.
But
I thought it was interesting. Speaking of people sitting down around a table, I was skimming that interview on GameSpot, which is with some of the development team on this game, and they mentioned that it seems like a majority of the team that worked on this was not really familiar with Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. They'd worked on 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
And so it's so interesting to me that you have, like, you know, we look back on what Resident Evil was, but that was like 20 years ago.
Mhm.
And a lot of people making these games now are drawing on entirely different inspirations and influences. So it's kind of even more surprising that it's not closer to the vein of an RE4 or 5.
Yeah. The franchise had to reboot though, and I hope that this does well because I appreciate what they're trying to do here. Hopefully, people who like this game will maybe check out stuff that's independently independent stuff from small developers, because you can really feel the influence, particularly
Here,
Outlast and frictional games stuff.
Okay. You should just go. I think dinner's over. Yeah, I hadn't considered that. Like there must be some contingent of people who will pick up this because they love one of the earlier Resident Evils, and they will be given an opportunity to see, a different kind of horror game design, and maybe that will sort of broaden the audience for indie horror games.
Yeah.
It's fame.
It's good because getting a bit more away from. Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
So last night I actually, I think it was last night, I was playing it and I stopped playing when that'll hold him. When he started calling me Piggy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's like straight up.
Oh, did he just come out of the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he broke through it. That's fine. I thought he'd just osmosed out.
Yeah.
That would be upsetting.
I'm all
Is
out
there
of
a-
my magical medicine.
Jug. Yeah.
This might be it. I mean, we're closing in on the end of the stream here.
What if you've been the monster all along?
Ooh, that would be good.
Yeah. What if these people are just trying
Almost like
you
a
say-
shadow of the Colossus type thing.
I was just thinking, like, what if you're like a werewolf and you didn't know it? Like, to you look fine, but everyone else is like, oh god, this is like some. What if you were actually a zombie?
Oh, it's yeah. Maybe it'd be like that Twilight Zone where everyone has pig noses.
That's right.
See, I don't like it when he's like, "You, where are you? Come here, piggy." All right.
It's also really. I have to keep reminding myself this is a Resident Evil game, and it doesn't have any of the style I would normally associate with
No.
that series,
Yeah.
and with like something that I when I was younger would just call like, oh, Japanese games are like this. Like they have certain ways of writing dialogue and certain ways of designing cameras and control schemes and pacing, and this doesn't feel like that at all.
No, it. Again, I'm about only about 3 hours in, but I can feel it gradually. I don't know how much it keeps on becoming, like adding more Resident Evil tropes, but it does start to add them finally.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about that. Like I welcome the idea of games taking influence and inspiration from each other and sort of like trying to create a better experience.
Yeah.
But also, I would hate to see the loss of what it was that made Resident Evil so iconic. And I don't think that was like tank controls, but I do think there was a certain, I don't know, like a approach to the horror that I
Yeah,
didn't see.
like in the other Resident Evils, there is this underlying thing where like we haven't even been introduced to like Umbrella yet, or any kind of like large entity or corporation or organization. It's just you and these people in Louisiana or whatever they are.
Yeah.
So there's the other Resident Evils. It feels like there is this kind of like overlord like thing. There's like a conspiracy that's happening. And
Yeah,
that
it's
kind
very
of
much-
informs like the rest of like the tone of the game, whereas this is just like a more personal story.
Yeah, to me, like I guess it's always been about like the horror of capitalism, like kind of in the way that Alien is about, and the whole Aliens franchise, for the most part, is about like this horrible, terrifying monster unleashed upon humanity in the name of profit, like in the name of making a weapon, and it's the exact same in the Resident Evil games. And like I do appreciate that sense of the like this evil corporation that's doing everything for like I guess that's kind of cheesy and corny. But I would hate to see it disappear entirely from this series.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up Alien, and we're out of time. But you bring up Alien. I need to mention Alien Isolation because this that guy, I think his name's Jack. He'll show up a little bit randomly. It reminds me of how the alien in Alien Isolation will pop out of a vent. And
Does Jack also pop out of vents?
he might, I don't know, he might pop out of vents. The alien in Alien Isolation didn't go, "Hey, piggy." So thanks everyone for joining us on this laid back stream, and don't forget to subscribe. We have regular guests. We're going to be back tomorrow with a game developer guest. And you can check out all of our archived videos, and you should watch them all because they're all perfect and extremely informative. So thanks again. I'm Chris Graft, editor-in-chief of Gamasutra.
And I'm Alex Worrell, editor of Gamasutra. Bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Please turn this off. I'm so scared.
Okay,